The beginning of a new year invites reflection on the old. In 1990, a more rural population of 3.6 million Arizonans received a gift: the decision to create a fund to perpetuate Arizona's wildlife and wildlands heritage, a heritage that all Arizonans love and cherish. Today, some 20 years later, 6.4 million mostly urban Arizonans continue to benefit from that gift. The Arizona Game and Fish Department manages and conserves wildlife and wildlife recreation opportunities for all Arizonans. But no one, including Arizona's Wildlife Agency, conserves wildlife alone. This year's list of accomplishments is testament to the power of partners and the public's continued passion for wildlife. So I invite you to join me for a few moments and savor what we've achieved together, and imagine what great things we'll achieve together in the future if we continue to nurture our personal and collective passions for wildlife.
If you voted in Arizona in 1990, chances are you voted in favor of the initiative that created the Heritage Fund. Arizonans showed their overwhelming support for wildlife by passing the measure by a 2-to-1 ratio. For the past 20 years, the Heritage Fund has made a difference not just to wildlife conservation efforts, but also to the state's economy, public access, environmental education, and outdoor recreation. Just some of the notable accomplishments of the Arizona Game and Fish Department's Heritage dollars over the past 2 decades include the awarding of nearly $13 million to local communities through more than 640 grants spread across all of Arizona's counties, supporting the award-winning and nationally recognized Bald Eagle Nest Watch program, which has been key in helping the state's bald eagle population grow more than 600% over the past 30 years. Securing public recreational access to more than 2 million acres in the state. Reintroducing black-footed ferrets, California condors, and black-tailed prairie dogs, which had disappeared from the state. Recovering threatened Apache trout to allow fishing opportunities for this native species. Supporting representation of Arizona's interests with regard to wildlife conservation, land use, and water policy decisions. The Heritage Fund comes from a portion of Arizona lottery ticket sales. One of our accomplishments over the past year includes the highly successful Arizona Game and Fish Department Outdoor Expo. Over 32,000 people took part during the March weekend event at the Ben Avery Shooting Facility in Phoenix. The event offered the public an opportunity to learn about a wide variety of wildlife-related and outdoor recreation activities, as well as the mission of the department. Flagstaff has had its sights set on a recreational shooting range for a long time. In 2010, the Arizona Game and Fish Commission finalized the purchase of the 160-acre Foster Ranch property in Coconino County for the future site of the Northern Arizona Shooting Range. They're back! Arizona hunting and fishing licenses are available for purchase online once again. It's simple and convenient. Just visit the Arizona Game and Fish Department's website to decide what license or license package suits you or your family best, and make the online purchase using your credit card from the convenience of your own home or office. The department reorganized its Information and Education Division by creating 2 additional branches to better serve our constituents. The Shooting Ranges branch will focus on the development, operation, and maintenance of commission-owned and supported shooting ranges in Arizona. The Wildlife Recreation branch will focus on engaging the public to become involved in outdoor recreational activities such as hunting, fishing, shooting sports, archery, wildlife viewing, and other activities related to wildlife or the outdoors. For the first time in 2 decades, all-day dove hunting returned to Arizona for the early dove season, September 1st through the 15th in 2010. The early season half-day dove hunting restrictions were eliminated by the Game and Fish Commission in response to some changes the state is experiencing, such as hunting areas being pushed further out from the urban centers and less hunting pressure and harvest on doves as compared to the 1980s. The state's bald eagle population continues to flourish. For the 2010 breeding season, 3 new active breeding areas were identified, bringing the total number in the state to 52. The total number of breeding adult bald eagles also grew to 104, which is the highest on record. This year, under the careful watch of the Arizona Game and Fish Department and a coalition of 22 other partners that make up the Southwestern Bald Eagle Management Committee, 44 eaglets successfully fledged, which is an important milestone for a young bird's chances of survival. The law enforcement program had several key accomplishments in 2010. A major one was the purchase of bulletproof vests for every department officer. This was accomplished through a combination of department funding and Department of Homeland Security grants. Another key acquisition was 130 Smith & Wesson M&P 15 police rifles. These firearms were purchased to replace the aging Ruger Mini 14 weapons the officers currently possessed. The passage and implementation of SB 1070 presented challenges to every Arizona law enforcement agency. The department stepped up to the challenge and became one of the first agencies to complete the Arizona police officers' standards and training that the governor mandated for each region on how to comply with the new law. The Wildlife Assets Program continued a strong showing at the International Sportsman's Expo. The program brings in an average annual revenue of $38,000 to the department's general fund. This money is then divided among each region and used to purchase law enforcement equipment to aid officers with the detection and prosecution of wildlife violators. The department put on 2 OHV law enforcement and tactics schools in 2010. These schools taught new cadets the skills needed to be efficient and safe OHV officers. The school included a live-fire weapons component that demonstrated what type of cover a quad would afford the officer if they found it necessary to utilize it. The department reminded Arizonans that they can make a mark for wildlife at tax time by making a donation to the Arizona Wildlife Fund on their state income tax form. The fund is a voluntary program that allows Arizona taxpayers to help imperiled and endangered wildlife and other non-game species. The department does not receive general tax dollars, so donations to the Arizona Wildlife Fund provide an important funding source for wildlife conservation. A major milestone in the recovery of the Chiricahua leopard frog was reached when a team of biologists from Arizona Game and Fish, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, U.S. Forest Service, and the Phoenix Zoo released more than 1,700 of these threatened frogs into the Tonto National Forest. This event marked the 10,000th frog of this rare species to be released into the wild after being reared at the Phoenix Zoo's Conservation Center. The future for Arizona's endangered black-footed ferrets looks promising with 2 new exciting developments: the opening of a new breeding facility at the Phoenix Zoo and the best-ever population survey results. The department's fall survey showed a record 96 ferrets in the Aubrey Valley area near Seligman, exceeding Arizona's objective as part of the national effort to recover the species to a point where its status can be downlisted on the endangered species list. The struggle to conserve America's wildlife is an amazing tale of national and natural history that demonstrates what can be accomplished when people work together towards a common goal. Now, a new curriculum developed by the department as part of its Focus Wild program is available to help teachers convey this important lesson to students. America's Wildlife, Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow is intended for high school science and social studies classrooms and consists of 5 interactive lessons set to state and national standards. It's available free of charge to educators. The department submitted comments and recommendations to the Bureau of Land Management regarding the BLM's Wild Horse and Burro Strategy Development document. As the state agency responsible for managing resident wildlife populations in Arizona, Game and Fish believes any horse and burro management proposals must take into consideration the needs of native wildlife and habitat. The Arizona Game and Fish Commission voted in December 2010 to support congressional actions to delist the Mexican wolf from protection under the Endangered Species Act. In taking this action, the Commission reaffirmed its strong commitment to Mexican wolf conservation and anticipates that the department will become even more heavily involved in planning the future of the species and the managing of day-to-day activities. The Arizona Game and Fish Commission is composed of 5 members appointed by the governor. The commission appoints the director of the Arizona Game and Fish Department, and the director serves as secretary to the commission. No more than 1 commissioner may be from any one county, and no more than 3 may be from the same political party. Each commissioner serves a 5-year term, and those terms are staggered. Chairwoman Jennifer Martin of Phoenix is leaving the commission at the completion of her 5-year term. She's been a very active commissioner who, despite the intense workload and responsibility involved in being a commissioner, has regularly attended and participated in a variety of field projects with department staff and their constituencies. Some of these include taking part in black-tailed prairie dog and black-footed ferret releases, Sonoran pronghorn capture and collaring efforts, and habitat improvements. Her son Justice was always on hand to share the experiences with her. Jennifer also regularly found time to attend department functions such as the annual Employees Association's Christmas Luncheon and the annual Employees Awards event. Jennifer's vision was the driving force behind the formation of the Commission's Conservationist Committee. The role of the committee is to find common interest and to develop collaborative approaches among broadly diverse groups to address future opportunities among Arizona's conservation community. We want to thank her for all her many contributions during her tenure. What you've seen is just a small sampling of the many activities in which Arizona Game and Fish has been engaged over the past year. It's also important to look at where we're heading. Technology-based conservation tools will increase our ability to work with planners to incorporate wildlife needs as Arizona continues to grow. Our Wildlife Recreation Action Plan will engage people in all manner of outdoor recreational pursuits so we can be assured our outdoor heritage will be passed to the next generation. During these tough economic times, the department has been proud of its ability to maximize our budget and continue to offer our constituents superior customer service. We look forward to working together with all of you over the coming year and beyond.